I was going to start with a little, not a rant, but a little, sort of talking about what's going on. This week's a big week, right? It's Mary Magdalene's day of the feast, and I'm not probably saying that right. So anybody who's a Mary Magdalene, who's more adept at the proper verbiage about her, I apologize if I didn't say it right, but it is her feast day. It was either yesterday or today. And the only reason I don't know is because when I read about it, it was a UK person, and I can't remember which day we were on. Anyways, so that's a big thing about honoring the divine feminine, about honoring, the balance that's coming into the energy, right? So we're waking up the divine feminine, and that's coming awake. It's not really good English, but it's being awakened. It's being, brought into balance. I really want to stress it's being brought into balance, because I notice a lot of people, or I've been hearing, we've got a lot of ceremonies to bring in the divine feminine, and I only want to work with women because we're waking up the divine feminine. Men have feminine energy, just like women have masculine energy, just like men. So we want to create, yes, we want to wake up and bring honor to and awareness and understanding around the divine feminine, 100%. However, we do not want to then swing hard to the other side where we don't have that balance, right? We went from matriarchal to patriarchal. Now we're hopefully finding some beautiful balance in this. That's the point. So again, Mary Magdalene, I realize I brought that up, but that is about bringing that awareness in. But if anybody knows anything about her teachings, the history around it, and I don't just mean what's in the Bible, I mean the history around it, there's a balance in that. So it's really about balance. And we've got a huge full moon happening as well, straight away here. And that is going to be about really moving into your power, really starting to stand in your wildness, into setting yourself free of the restrictions and the restraints that you've put on yourself based on beliefs, based on, what you've given your power to, many, many things. We have squashed ourselves into a smaller box to make other people feel better, or whatever your reasons happen to be. And so this is a really good time. So if that's coming up for you guys right now, you'll know part of it's being accentuated by the energy that's happening with all of this that's going on. It doesn't mean it's in charge of you. It just means it's going to, if it's already starting to come up for you, it's going to accentuate it. So it's going to get sort of more in your face, or you're going to notice more unsettled feeling of wanting to find more balance in your life. It may not be that you've pinned it to masculine, feminine. It may just be that you're noticing you want more balance in your world. I wonder if I put this different, my glasses. My glasses, I know, it was bad timing. Poor planning here for Jodie Rollins with the glasses today. If I take them off, I can't see. So that doesn't help anything, does it? Okay. I'm a fidgeter today. I'm all like jazzed up. I wish I had I'm a fidgeter. It's just how I roll. It's not what kinetic people do. If anyone else is kinetic out there, you will understand. You'll understand me. Okay. I don't know who I've got. I'm going to just have a quick look here, because what I'll do is, I'm so happy to see all you guys. What I'm going to do is pick somebody that is already on here for my questions. And if you guys have a question, please fire away. Let me see who I got here. Chickadee. If you sent me in a question, because sometimes when you log on here, it may show up as another name, depending on. So just let me know, Jodie, I sent a question in, or this is so-and-so, because I've got, okay, I'm going to have you, my little sweetheart, and Shauna and Shannon. La, 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 la. Because everybody was so lovely, and they all want to talk to me today, which is really kind. Oops. Okay. I lost you, but I'm back. I'm just going to pull, first of all, I'm going to pull, Shannon, are you okay if I pull you up first? First up on the agenda. I'm unmuting you. You're in trouble. Oops, I lost you. Bugger. Do you unmute yourself?
I think so.
Hey, good for you. Okay, awesome. All right, my little lady. I'm just going to turn you up so I can hear you, and hopefully everybody else can hear you. Okay, talk again.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, perfect. That's better. All right, my sweet. So I'm going to pull up your question here, but if you want to you were asking me how Do you learn to love and appreciate yourself so you can be what you want? So you can be what you want to attract in. That's a great question, right? But do you have something specific, or do you want me to just go on a ramble about that?
No, you can ramble. 'Cause I think we kind of
Covered
talked
it.
a little bit about it in the Mojo Momentum, or
Right, in the other group.
yeah, just because with my friends we kind of got talking about what happiness really is, and to each person it kind of seems different. And I was kind of feeling that ungratified in what people were expressing.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. That's part of why my mission for my clarity tour happened, is because we're so content with being okay, right? How are you doing? I'm okay. How are you doing? Fine. And we accept that as like, oh, good, okay, and we keep on trucking, you know? So you're right. When you bring up that, and most people don't like to talk about that, but the being happy, the difference is this. So happy is fleeting, right? I can be happy. I can be in my car listening to music, rocking it out, and then somebody cuts me off, and now I'm flipping them the bird, right? So I was happy, now I'm not happy. So it moves.
Right.
So and then joy is different. Joy means after I flip them the bird, because I'm connected to myself, I can have a good giggle that I really reacted to that guy, instead of having that guy or girl wreck my day, right? So it's more about the awareness of where your spiritual, in my opinion, where your spiritual practice is. If we're just talking about happiness versus, most people have settled in happy and what they expect happy to be, in my opinion. Right? Most of us have settled into, well, this is just the way life is. And I don't accept that. And I don't think anybody should accept that. I think we should redefine our happy all the time, because life is changing and moving and shifting all the time. Did I lose you?
No,
Oh,
no.
like this. Oh, I talked
I
her
was just
right
being a
off
good
the
listener.
phone. That's awesome. That's incredible. Okay. So wait, but you're asking what is your question though? What do I need to do to get into alignment? Oh crap. Want me to read it? Or do you want to say it?
I think how yeah, you can read it. I forget how I worded it.
You said, how do you learn to love and appreciate yourself so you can be what you want to attract in? I love that so much. So that
Right, because you're supposed to, in what I've read or saw, when you want to attract that in, you're supposed to be that yourself. When sometimes I don't think we always want more than what we're willing to give out, I think sometimes.
Okay, so but really on the basis of that is, can you identify the feeling of what the thing you want will give you? Because we don't want anything for the thing. Yeah, of course we want the things or the person or the experience or whatever. Of course we
Right.
want. Look at it, I love it. There's my pretty girl, but I don't think she wants her face on there, I'm pretty sure. But I don't know how to turn her hot video. There we go. We're all as challenged as me. I love it. Okay, so identifying, first of all, the thing you want is the most important thing for everybody out there listening. But the next thing is what you will feel, what you believe you'll feel like, right? Because that's what we want. What will I feel like when I have this? So then you can move those feelings into anything. But you've got to generate those feelings. That's your commitment. Your commitment is, are you generating a feeling of contentment or special or honor or joy? Are you tuning yourself to those feelings? So that's one of the things that flies in, besides everything else that will fly in.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Okay.
It's right. So we can use the word happy. We can use it with anything you're creating. That's how we tune to it. Sometimes because we use the words, we have to be a vibrational match for what we want. It gets us all upset, because then we're like this, well, what vibration is that? Right? Like, what vibration is true love? What vibration is a new car? I don't know. And the only way you can know that is by the match of that person, which is you, that you see getting into that new car, feels different than the person that's sitting here wishing they had a new car. And that's where whatever, that's where it doesn't match, right? That makes sense. Something's tickling my nose today, I'm telling you. Okay. Yes?
Yes.
Is that helpful?
Yes.
Okay. 10-4?
Yes.
So your thing is to bring the focus off. Oh, sorry. Go on.
So we just have to have that feeling of what it would be. So say, for example, you wanted someone with confidence and humor and all that. We would just have to know what that feeling would be like. We wouldn't necessarily have to have all that super confidence ourselves.
Wait a minute. Say that again. If you're wanting somebody with confidence, or you're seeing
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. If you know, when you have your list of what you need or want.
Okay.
Do you have to be all those things yourself?
No, here's the difference. Oh, I love you so much. So if you're, let's say we're doing a list on the perfect mate.
Okay.
So you're making a list of all your desires. That's what you want, because you've got to get clear on what you want. Otherwise, that's going to be a problem.
Right.
So it's like saying, okay, so wait, I'm gonna go around this way. So we have the list of what we want. Then I want to move you into, let's have that. Let's pretend we have it already. What does that feel like? Who are you in that picture?
Right.
You don't have to be confident if they're confident and you're not. You don't want to be confident. No, if you want someone confident and you're not, no problem.
Okay.
You have to be, the match means, it's like this. If I order a couch from Urban Barn, I don't have to be a couch. Right? I don't have to be soft and comfy and cozy and brown. No. Right? I don't have to be that. I have to know what kind of couch I want,
right,
how it's going to feel, how happy I'm going to be with it in my house, and how cozy and comfy it is, if that's what I'm going for, right? I have to know the outcome, not the requirement. Is the specificness of the requirement is so that you get clarity on what you want. Because when it comes in, then you know you got it. Do you follow me?
Yes.
If you weren't specific on your list and some pretty hot smoking guy walked in, but you're not really clear, you are constantly going to be asking people, do you think that's my guy? Do you think that's my guy? Do you think this is my guy? Right? Instead of going, fuck yeah, that's my guy. Right? It's the same with people. If they just get a couch, then what do they do with all their friends? Do you think this is the right couch for this living? Do you like this couch? Do you think, right? If I get a couch that I love, I don't care if you like my couch, because I love it and it's the exact one I wanted. But when we compromise, then we need people to justify what we want. That's why getting clear on your vision is so important, so that you know when you've pulled in the match.
Right.
And you'll know when you're slightly off, which means I've got to tweak something with me if I'm slightly off. So if I pull in my dream man, except he's married, that's on my list. Right? But people will argue, but he's everything on my list. No, you didn't put married on your list. That's where the shift is. So then you'll know, oh, clearly I'm not quite ready to give my heart away. So I got to do a little bit of work there.
Right. Okay, perfect.
Is that more helpful?
Thank you.
Yay. Okay, good.
Yay.
Thanks. Okay. I can mute you if I find you. La, 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 la. Oh, yeah. Boom. Ready? Oh, you muted yourself. I love it. Look how fast everybody is. Okay. Techie people showing off. Whatever. I'm not taking offense. I don't care. Okay. Nobody's chatting tonight. Hi. I'll type a hi. Hi. Feel free to chat. Feel free to share. Feel free to share your thoughts. Okay. I'm going to look for Shauna here. Chicka earlier. Let me have a look here. Shauna, if you're there, type me something. If you're not on here yet. Dun, 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 dun. I need this because I wanted this music at my show as well. Oh, I don't have her yet. Emily, I'm going to pull you in here, sweets, because I got you, sister.
Okay.
Oops. Did I get the right person? Oh, yes. Yay.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Thank you. I love that you sent me these questions. They were brilliant. They are brilliant.
Awesome.
The other ones aren't, but like she sent me like a list of like so there was some work going on here. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Good for you. Is there anyone you want to address first?
We can just start with number one.
Number one.
There we go.
Okay, what advice do you have for jealous types. So this is a great question. Now, do you want me to read everything on here? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she says, I'm full of physical insecurities and somehow convince myself that my partner would jump ship the minute he sees someone prettier, thinner, more fit, etc. come along, even though we've been together for over 2 years. So she wants to know why. This is not just my relationship that jealousy plays a negative factor, and so advice on jealousy in general would be fantastic. Okay, so let's talk about jealousy for a second.
Okay.
Because, that's why we're here. Aren't I? So fun to play with. Okay, I'm trying to get back to okay. So jealousy will have to do with, I want to start this in the right spot. There'll be belief structures that don't line up with who you actually are. Okay?
Okay.
Which means whatever things we're wanting another person or a job or whatever to feed, right? Where we have insecurities, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in a job, whether it's in work, until we get, so that's inner work. That's an indicator of inner work for us. That's an indicator that I'm not on my own team. It's an indicator that I don't have my own back and I want somebody else to have my own back before I do, which, as we know, law of attraction, you have to be it before you can pull it in. So me being insecure about something will only pull in things that I get to be insecure about.
That makes sense.
Okay, so when I was a show jumper, this just popped in my head, so it's a good example. I was a very gifted show jumper, apparently. So, I don't even like that, but apparently. So even from when I was younger, people would tell my dad, she could go to the Olympics, she could go like this, she could go like that. So those were good things to tell me, right? You'd think I'd believe I was a good rider if that's what I've been told since I basically started, right? No. Mm-hmm. So then I move up in the ranks, yada, yada, yada. I end up with my own stable. I end up with some, whatever. I move up through the whole thing. Now, most people didn't see this. So that's why I'm quite shocked I'm sharing this. But most people didn't see this. They saw Jodie show up, do her thing, coach her students, ride the horses that I liked the assholes. So I always pick the hardest. I just love those ones. So that was me, right? But the people that were my people, which happened to be my sister at the time, I would come off the thing and I'd go over every single thing I did in the ring at a horse show, not when I'm training. Training was different for me. But at a horse show, I would go through every single thing and she'd have to probably tell me, God knows how many times, until she got pissed off, basically, how good I did, blah, blah, blah. Just basically I had to pump my tires all the way back to the barn. Mm-hmm. Which didn't do anything anyways, because it felt good for a minute, but I still went over the whole thing.
Right.
Until I got to the point of sitting in, I am a good rider. I am a good, trainer. I am whatever it was that I had to sit in and realize that other people, I always realized there'll always be people better than you, right? I wasn't ever trying to be, I always competed against myself. But my insecurity was how it looked. And maybe people are thinking I shouldn't be a coach. Maybe people are thinking, right, whatever it was, until I got it settled with me, you couldn't fill that. So I was always jealous of that person and they did that and then they, right? So there was always not jealous, but there was an insecurity that you couldn't feed. You can't feed. So your boyfriend or your husband can tell you 100 times how gorgeous you are and how sexy you are, whatever, and that'll work for 10 minutes. And then really, you want to be told it again. And that's because we haven't done the work to believe or to be on our own team. Being on my own team was, I know I'm a good rider. I know I can do, blah, 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 whatever it was. Once I had that, it was great. If I came out of the ring, they said good round. I was like this, yeah, thanks. Like,
yeah.
Right? And not like, yeah, I know. I just mean like, that was nice. It's like icing on the cake. Once you have the cake, icing's awesome, but you don't need icing.
I like that.
Okay? If you have no cake, you're screwed. Because you're icing nothing, and icing's too sweet. You got nothing to put icing on. So that's where, when we have jealousy is always an indicator that we haven't got on our own team. Okay? That you don't have your back. So the work there is, it's about looking at, not that you got to dissect every single one because it won't even be that. You might have a lot of examples of jealousy, but what you'll start to find out is there's an underlying belief structure that you keep
Okay.
trying to feed. And so that'll be where the work is.
Awesome.
And because a belief structure is only a thought that you've thought enough, then now the law of attraction's brought you evidence. So now you believe it. You don't have to go and kill your mother for giving you that belief structure or whoever it is. You just have to think the new thought over and over. You have to implement it, sticky notes, whatever you're going to do. You just have to implement it. And that will edit that version.
Okay.
And you'll have so many opportunities then to notice, oh, I just thought a bad thought about myself again, right? And then you'll shift it.
Right. You'll start to recognize when you fall back into the old belief structure when you
and as you're shifting it, you're right. It will come up really strong as you're shifting it.
Right. Okay.
Okay. It will come up where you're like this, oh, I just pulled up my shirt 3 times because I'm wondering if I look fat in this. That's
okay. Yeah.
When I look good and I'm going to sit here and I don't care. Right. Like, right? And that doesn't go from 0 to 60. It means you're going to be aware that you didn't know how much you did this to yourself.
Right.
Or how many times you wanted your partner or whatever to say how good you looked or whatever it happens to be for you. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. That I can do. I can
know
work on that.
Yeah. So that's where it is. It's about sort of a little bit of digging around to see, I journal about it personally and do a question answer thing where I'd be like this. So why am I, so what am I jealous about? Well, I was jealous, and pick an actual instance so that your brain can answer, right?
Okay.
Answer the stupidest answer. Don't answer that, well, I know better than that. No, let it answer, because that girl was super hot. Okay, but did he even look at her? No, but she was still super hot. So I felt really insecure. Okay, but right, so then what made you feel insecure? Well, I thought, well, she had a nicer ass than I did. Okay, so why don't you like your ass? I don't know, because I did. I don't know. Like and that's how that conversation
and break it down.
goes, but it will keep going lower. So whatever the answer is, as dumb as it may seem, it will bring you to the underlying thing. And because it's underlying, that's why it's so hard to find. Because our brain will go, I don't believe that anymore. Yeah, well, clearly something we believe still back here because it's mucking with us.
Right.
So play with that automatic answer, because it'll be an answer you're not real fond of, that you wouldn't want to maybe share if they were like this, oh yeah, but it will help you get down to the actual belief that you never believe you're good enough, or you were always told you weren't good enough. I don't know, whatever it is. And then you can work with that. Then your sticky notes are, I'm always good enough. I'm more than good enough. I'm awesome. Whatever things when you do a sticky note, I always encourage people to have one that triggers you a bit. If it doesn't trigger you, you've found a way around changing the habit.
Okay.
It's like if somebody doesn't think they have a flat tummy, or I don't know why we're picking on weight here, but just for instance, to write, I have a smooth flat tummy is going to trigger them, because their brain's going to be like this. No, we don't.
Yeah.
So then you've got a trigger. If it's too much of a trigger, that's too strong. But a fairly, depending on how much work you've done on yourself, you want to have some sort of ripple in the force. Otherwise, you're not changing a new belief. You're just editing one and tricking yourself into believing that you've shifted it and you haven't.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay.
Next question.
Yeah.
I'm having so much fun.
This one is kind of like number 2 is similar to the last person's question, I guess. And maybe it's because of the full moon that's coming up that I have been feeling this, like, I just feel like every ounce of my being is saying, like, go for it, girl. And then there's just no movement. There's nothing. And I'm like, I know I have to put in the work, but I'm not. And I don't know why.
You don't know why you're not putting in the work. So, okay, so every ounce of my being feels like there's bigger and better, more lucrative things out there. So this has to do with abundance, with money. Does it?
Yes.
Or, like for you in particular on this topic, is this about money?
It is about money. I know that what I want to do will lead to money. Like, I know that it's like that what I'm hoping to get done will bring in a large sum of money. But I don't know if that's what's scaring me, because I've never had money before. You know what I mean? Not a lot. I mean, I pay my bills, but I've never had that large sum. So maybe that's what's stopping me. I don't know.
Well, what's stopping you is a couple things. Is you haven't got clear on the picture of what you look like with lots of money. So
Okay.
it's really hard to get alignment with that if you don't know what that looks like. Even if it changes, you have to start creating that picture of what do you look like with lots of money?
Okay.
Do you drive a different vehicle? Do you take your friends out for dinner more? I'm free any evening. No, I was kidding. I would say, start to play with that. Because
Okay.
that'll be part of it. Because then, just like we were talking with Shannon, then we need the alignment. What does that feel like? You've got to start integrating that feel like. What does having a lot of money feel like? It's going to feel like a different freedom than just paying your bills.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to start to get in that alignment before we can move forward. But then it will also take the understanding that whenever we feel fear, it's because we're moving into something new. That's the only reason. It's about as boring as it gets.
But
Fear
it's
is
real.
about something new. It's unknown. Now, making sure you're in alignment with what you're moving through the fear for is a pretty big thing. But never will you get a message from your guides and angels or from yourself even to not move forward by using fear. That's never a don't move forward feeling.
Okay.
But if you are pushing through fear towards something you don't actually want, then people say, oh, I had fear, I should have stopped. No, you just didn't get clear on what you wanted. Now you're choked, you're there.
Okay. That makes sense.
Fear is literally the brain losing its shit because the brain is only a recording device. So it has recorded everything up until now. And when you go to do something new, it's looking for a file for that. It doesn't have one. So it's pulling out every file kind of related to it, but it doesn't have a file on the first day of school. It doesn't have a file on being super rich because you haven't been super rich yet.
Right.
But you can create a picture in that. You can understand that, yep, it's scary, but you can use, fear and excitement are very, very interchangeable vibrations. So you can play with that however you want, right? But you want to get back in the driver's seat and know that there is a movement forward. You don't want to push it, but you also need to take that step. As long as your alignment is, this is what I want, then nothing should be stopping you from the next step and the next step and the next step.
Okay. Just have to paint that clear picture of what it is.
That's why when Shannon was saying in our momentum program, the people that are doing the online program, that's what they have. They have a step-by-step program of tools to keep them. So even if you change the dream or the picture, you keep implementing that.
Okay.
Right? That sort of thing. So for you, just keep, moving a step forward. What would be a step forward in that? And then when you feel like, a lot of people say, I feel like something big's coming to me. I can just feel it, but it's not here yet. That feeling is big energy that's coming in.
Okay.
Right? So there might be big movement coming, but if you're not in alignment with what you're doing and moving forward, you don't catch that wave. It just always feels like it's out here.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel right now. Like it's just, I can feel it in my body. I can feel the vibrations and I'm like, whoa, okay, there's something there. And I know I'm not naive enough to think I just got to sit here and wait and then it'll land upon me. But yeah, I've got to get myself to jump on that momentum and to bring that big energy to life, I guess.
The big energy is already to life. That's what I'm saying. You're trying to bounce between two belief structures. You can't believe that it's a law of attraction and then say, I've got to go bust my ass to get it. It's counterproductive.
Okay.
Law of attraction means it comes to you. It means you could sit on your ass and wait for it if you were in alignment with what you wanted. You're trying to find you're out there searching for what the big energy is instead of getting in alignment with what you want so that big energy can flood it to you.
Find me. Okay.
Yeah. And it'll find you. It'll find you with people telling you when the opportunities come. Yes, you will have to act on them, but they will be so in alignment with what you know you want that you'll be like this, holy crap.
Okay, because that's actually happened to me before, not in relation to this, but like moving from Saskatchewan out to British Columbia. I was like, it just happened. Everything fell into place. I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
How it was just like boom, boom, boom. I was like, I need this. It happened. I have to do this. Oh, it happened. And there was like almost little effort.
Yes,
to it.
because you set the intention. This is what I need. You didn't get caught up in the how, and then you allowed it to come in.
Yeah. Okay. So I
So
can
the
do it again.
vibration of wanting something and the vibration of receiving something are two different vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on FM and you're waiting for an AM station, you're screwed. Right?
Right.
Yeah. If you're going through it, this is my new analogy that I just love, and I can't take credit for it because my people gave it to me, but I love it because everybody's gone through a drive-through, and you order exactly what you want, and you actually don't give a flying flip how it gets done, as long as by the time I get to the next window, please have it ready for me and don't fuck it up.
Right.
That's it. Right? You don't care who made it, really. I mean, you sort of do, but you really don't. You order, you get clear, you sit there in your car, you talk to whoever's in there, you might make a phone call, you get to the thing, you pay, you're ready for the bag, all good. That's it. That's how it works. Make your request, drive to the next window.
All right.
But make the request. Don't worry about how it's being made. How do you think they make those French fries? I don't care. I don't care. As long as they're good.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah.
Good. Yay. That's how it works. That's how quantum field works. It's going to come in. When you request something new, it's going to come in a way you have no idea, because that's the only way it can come in. If you had an idea, you wouldn't be asking for it. You'd already be doing it.
Right.
Right? Nobody says, I want toast. Please bring me toast. I don't know how to make toast. No, make toast. Right?
Right.
Because we know it.
Right.
Yeah. Yay. Rocking
Cool.
and rolling. Is that good?
Yep. That is very good.
Okay. Bum, bum. Horoscopes, are they a yay or a nay? Well, what do you exactly mean? If you're using it like a Bible, then you're using it wrong. If you're using it like, an indicator, a little awareness, then you're grand.
Okay. That's mostly what it is. I like to read them just to see how in line they are kind of with my life. But sometimes I'm like, okay, now I'm reading them too much, or I'm hoping that I'm going to find an answer in it.
Yeah. If you're doing that, then you know that you're not in alignment, that you're not believing you create your reality, right? You're not getting in alignment with what you want. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have an astrologer that does your charts and your birth date to this second, and you know that, you're going to get some pretty cool information. Don't get me wrong. But that's like saying, is the Enneagram correct? Yeah, it's totally correct. Is The Life You're Born to Lead, if anybody's read that book, is that correct? Yeah, it'll bang on. But is it going to tell you the next thing to do? No, you're still creating your life. You just have more awareness now of what kind of personality you are, why you're, drawn to this kind of lifestyle, or this kind of, some people like a settled, really grounded lifestyle. Some people like to be flitting all over the planet, whatever.
Right.
And that doesn't mean something's wrong with them. It means, so sometimes that's a real grounding thing to know. Right? I'm a Gemini, so I can have 7 conversations at once, and only other Geminis recognize me. They'll be like this, oh my God, you're a Gemini. I'll be like this, oh. What gave you away? Did I have 7 conversations and I didn't know it? Yeah, you did. Yeah. So, right? So there's some things that are general characteristics, but is that the thing you should base your next thing on? No.
Right.
Right? Does that mean because I'm a Gemini I can't meditate? No, I've trained myself to control my mind. I do a lot of work studying that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't use it as a Bible, so to speak. That's all.
Right. Or like the easy button. Okay.
It's fun to look at, but it's not going to give you, a magic 8 ball is more accurate than that if you're looking for answers.
Okay.
And they're super fun. Remember those?
Yeah. They are.
Still have them at like Indigo or somewhere. I found one the other day. I was so excited. I didn't buy it though. I totally should have. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, 10-4. Got her? Anything else, Miss?
Got her. No, that is all for this call. That was awesome. Yay! Thank you so much.
Okay, Emily. Thank you, my sweet. You have yourself a great night. Stay on though. Don't leave.
Yes, I will.
When you're rich, you're taking me out for dinner. No, I just kidding.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.
That was super fun. Super fun. Okay, I just wanted to see if I could find anybody. I will address these questions in case they're going to listen to it. Like, I don't know who that is. Because it's just numbers, and numbers don't help me decide what's happening here. Okay, so I will address the other questions just because they're here and they can listen to them. Because for anybody who is new on here, welcome, welcome, welcome. We do upload this and my person's on it, so it should be uploaded to YouTube by tomorrow. So if you're wanting to even listen to back karma calls, that sort of thing, they're all on YouTube. Okay, so if you subscribe to the channel or you just go on there and pick whatever you want. We don't, well, sometimes we put them on the email list if you're on my email list. At least once I think we put it on there, but for sure you can get it if you're on the channel. Okay. Da, 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 da. So she said I can chat with her, but she's not here. So I've got one. I'm stuck with health. Actually, I think two of these are health issues. No. I've got, I'm stuck with, this is from Leanne. So Leanne, if you're listening, or if you're listening, type me something. If not, you'll hear this after, I guess. She said she's stuck with health issues that never seem to get resolved. Every time she takes 2 steps forward, her health takes her 30 back. Yowza, that's a pretty, do we believe her it's 30? Do I have a yes from this woman? No, nothing. So maybe she's not on here. Okay, no worries. People are busy. Okay. Health issues are an interesting topic, and I don't want to make this an easy answer or a really quick answer. And because health issues, when I get talking or when I teach people about the balance between body, mind, and soul, it's so important to understand that the body houses all of the things we think are important. So when we want to work on our intuition, that goes through our body. When we want to talk to our soul, that goes through our body. Our mind is housed inside the body. Everything gets done through this beautiful body. And unfortunately, we tend to have a belief structure that, how am I going to say this? We have belief structures that we've implemented that go against that innate, incredible intelligence that's running our body. So I don't know about you, but we've all got over 50 trillion cells in our body doing functions that we can't even imagine every second, not even every minute. And the numbers are astounding. It's thousands and thousands of things that they're doing, of processes, of synchronicities, of conversation, the way they communicate. It's crazy. That incredible innate intelligence is actually who we are. And it's running all of our systems. And our brain, which is just a computer that recorded stuff, thinks that it knows better than the body. So when we have belief structures that are not working for us anymore, that we've thought so much over and over and over, they start causing breakdown in the body. They start causing proteins and DNA to be triggered. And what it does is it simulates repetitive process, and it ends up wearing out that process a little bit. So I'm trying to put this so I don't get into my total science geekiness for you guys too much. But when you feel like you're going 2 steps forward and 1 step back, it's unfortunate I don't have you to talk to, but the thing of it is this: if you're doing structured belief structure ways, whether it's through Western medicine, whether it's through holistic medicine, whether, if we're going through, this is what's wrong, I'm working on, and we're not having a deeper conversation, a deeper relationship with ourselves and our body, with that innate intelligence, then we're battling against ourselves. It will feel like you get 2 steps forward and then the body brings back 30 steps back, and it'll feel like your body's working against you. And what it's trying to do is get your attention. And unfortunately, we don't pay attention till something is wrong. We push ourselves harder. We work harder. We stay up later. We eat crappier food. We don't exercise. We whatever until we can't fit into our pants. Our knees are hurting because we put on weight and we can't, whatever. We get a sore back, so we've got to now learn how to strengthen our back. So now we got to do some exercise. I've got I don't, but you get irritable bowel syndrome, you get something like that. So now I got to eat different. I got to learn about eating different, right? So we don't do anything till we're forced to do it. It's just how we're made. We can't fix that part of us. We can by paying more attention. I'm teasing. You can totally by paying more attention. So when you feel like you're going forward and then back, make no mistake, you're trying to tell the body again what it needs when it's clearly trying to get your attention to tell you itself. So there is an awareness of moving into working with the body, communicating with the body, letting your soul and your body communicate to you, but also reprogramming the brain. The thought processes that got us into this in the first place are the problem. And it won't seem like, people are going to say, well, I wasn't thinking about, having a chronic sore back. No kidding, you weren't thinking about that. But if your constant worry is money and there's never enough and it's a stress and you carry it and it sits heavy, you're going to start to have lower back problems. If you believe, if you're waiting for your ship to come in, but you're not changing anything right now, so you're still feeling like the victim of your life, blaming it on your mother, whatever it is, right? Blaming it on the negative people out there, blaming it on Trump. That's a good one lately. Then it's the same thing. That belief structure, first of all, is a repetitive process, which is making your body fire certain chemicals and certain proteins, which eventually wear out and become less powerful, thus creating disease. So I can go from the science side, but we can also go from the understanding that all you've got to do is to get into more communication with that, but also what's it going to take to create a new belief structure, a new body. That takes meditation, that takes alignment, that takes training your energy to focus on the vibration of wholeness and not the vibration of what's going on. But we don't like to spend any time doing that. I don't have time to meditate. My life's so busy, Jodie, I don't have time. Well, if you don't have time to look after yourself, you're not going to have a self to look after. And make no mistake, I am preaching to myself as much as anybody else because we all go through this. On whatever level, we all go through this. And it's about bringing in that balance, starting to understand that me talking about spiritual processes is not a la thing. That's like, yeah, Jodie, that sounds nice for you, but it doesn't work for me. Every culture, every belief, every religious structure talks about making sure there's a connection, there's a quiet time, there's a go within, whether you're praying, whether you're meditating, whether you're on a spiritual journey, it is about understanding that you came here as mind, body, and spirit. And most of us don't pay attention to our body, really, unless it's bugging us. And sure as crap, don't pay attention to our spirit. Don't even know how to communicate with it. So how do we think that's going to work? Now, I'm not saying you called it on yourself. Make no mistake, I've gone through my own share of physical problems. But that's where it comes to. It comes to not, oh, my body's malfunctioning, I gotta, get it into gear. It's clearly something in my process of being and thinking and being here is not in alignment with what I truly want. So it's an internal process. And I encourage anybody who's going through that kind of thing to make sure you're doing an internal process or working with somebody who can help you with the internal process, because it's deep and it is expansive and it will change your life, and it can change tons of things in your life as well as your body. But your body is a reflection of whatever your mind is doing. Now, make no mistake, that's a pretty big statement, but 90% of it is true. By changing the way you think or show up, your body will physically change. It has to. So it means starting to, do you know how many of us have an eating plan? Do you really think that your body needs the same eating plan for the rest of your life? No. It's a different body every day, needing different chemicals and different things. So how do we learn to communicate with that so we can have a healthy, fit, with massive vitality and energy? We got to start programming ourselves to think different so that all of this starts working together. Okay, that was a long little rant I went on there, and I've got lovely questions here. Super excited. Okay, hang on. I hope that makes sense. If you guys have more questions on that, fire away. Hi, Jodie. I'm very sensitive. I have trouble letting go of hurts. Oh, yeah. And you know what? Bless you, Susan, for saying that, because that is what one of the first question was, that the other lady's not here, I don't think. It was about that she keeps being reminded and told, I don't know who's telling her this, but that she's hanging on to shit, literally, and figuratively, and needs to let it go. And she doesn't know what it is. So what is it that what am I hanging on to that's preventing me from moving forward? Now, that's a psychic question, so I'm not going to go into her energy specifically for that. But it's the same. Letting go of hurts means, again, you're holding on to it because of a belief structure. So I'm going to play with a couple here. And if you want to speak to me, like if you want to talk dialogue right now, you don't mind, just type me, yeah, you can unmute me, and I'll unmute you. If not, I'm just going to address this. So hurts we hold on to because we either feel like we got to hold on to them because we're justified. And that doesn't mean you're not right. It doesn't mean it didn't hurt you. It means the more you hang on to it, the more poison you're putting in your own body. Holding on to hurts will only hurt you. But we have a belief structure that this was wrong and I'm not letting it go. So rock and roll. Is that Susan?
Yeah.
He came in the door. Hello, darling.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, my sweet. So, any kind of hurts?
Pretty much, yeah.
So when you say you're very sensitive, can you explain that for us?
I feel too much and then I have trouble letting go of it.
So you feel too much because you're energetically sensitive, or you feel too much because you tune into people? You feel too much because you take things personally?
All of the above.
Right. So first of all, let's address that, because there'll be lots of people on this call that are very sensitive. Make no mistake. So very sensitive means a lot of things. It means you're not tending to your own sensitivity. So you're wanting, is everything okay? There's a lot of noise on your call.
G6 is unmuted. Jodie.
Oh, got her. Thanks. What would I do without Angel? Honest to God, that woman's amazing. Okay. Are you still with me though?
Yes.
Okay. Yay. Okay. So the first thing will be, and I'm not doing this in order, but being very sensitive means we're wanting other people to understand us, and we're taking it personally that they don't understand us. So we're getting hurt by their words. You with me?
Yes.
So we need you more on your team. I would use those words, on your team, meaning make sure you're tending to yourself more daily, okay? Sensitive to energy means we haven't set up our own space. So you're just picking up on everything. You with me?
Yes.
When we're picking up on everything, that means you have no control over your own vibration and your own space. So that's where the work would be there. Okay? Setting up your own space that you want to stand in your energy. You're not interested in other people's energy. You'll still notice stuff, but it'll feel like it's kind of out there a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. The taking things. No, there was another thing. Becoming interested in what everybody else is feeling means you've got out of your lane. So I don't know if you've followed me before, but staying in your lane is one of my primary things I tell people, because if you're in your own car listening to your own music, everything's good. You can eat chips, you can do whatever you want in that car. But if you get into my car and then bitch about my music and what I'm eating, you're in the wrong car. Right? And normally that's what we're doing. Look at her over there. She's all like this, right? Now I'm in her car. As soon as I move my attention there, Okay, so you want to keep being in your, which really is still the same thing as what we just said, being in your own space, holding your own space, right? So when we wander out, we bring ourselves back. Wait a minute, it's none of my business. Okay, the other thing is we have this belief structure, which is just unfortunate, because please teach all your children this, that nobody can make you feel anything. It is an actual choice. A feeling does not spontaneously happen. We have a thought, we have a chemical reaction, and then we have a feeling. So somebody says something, we have a thought before we even know it, then we have a feeling, and then we blame it on them. Okay, that doesn't mean they might not have said something that really pissed you off or hurt you. It doesn't mean that. It means that you want to take ownership for it. Because I can get on stage and I can say something that I might think is funny, and two people laugh. One person thinks I'm obnoxious. One person doesn't even know what the hell I'm talking about, how they got in the room. So which one is right?
Right.
Everybody's going to interpret it and process it at their own way. I have no control over that, just like you have no control over that. But if we make somebody responsible for how we feel, we're screwed, because they are never intentionally trying to do anything. Everybody's trying to do their best in any given moment. And we're all selfishly focused, whether we like it or not, because we came here to look after our soul. So the awareness that nobody can make you feel anything will create a freedom for you. It doesn't mean we don't have a reaction. Make no mistake. It doesn't mean if somebody comes in and says, Jodie, you look fat in that, I'm going to have a reaction. It depends who says it. See? It depends who says it. So, but then I get to look at, woo, how come I had such a reaction to that? Because I didn't like this outfit anyways. Then why'd I wear it? Right? Or whatever. You'll be able to back it up to, why did I have such a strong reaction to that? And it can be because that guy's always a jerk. Okay, then why do you keep hanging out with him? Right? Then it's still back to our responsibility. So when we hold on to hurts, it's the same thing. We have a belief structure that we have to hold on to it, and that letting go means that I've made it okay. You haven't made it okay. It's not okay. You're not going to hang out with that person anymore, or you're not going to go down that road anymore, whatever it is. But you're not going to carry it anymore because it's hurting you. You're going to find out, I call it unplugging from it. There's no more charge in it. It doesn't mean it's okay. It means that was not okay. But I'm also not going to carry the hurt just to prove a point to who, because that's interrupting what you're vibrationally putting out there, which can only pull in more things that match that. Oh, we don't want that. We don't want more hurts. We want less hurts. We want things that when I get hurt, that I look at why I'm hurt about this. And then what do I need to say about it? Instead of, they hurt me and they've got to fix this, otherwise I don't like them. Right?
Right.
Now, I'm not saying don't have a reaction. 100% have a reaction. But own the reaction. Right? Yeah. Own that you're having a reaction to something that happened, and then after the reaction's been cleared, then we can move to the next thing. Whoo, I really had a reaction there. Why did I, then you can get into the gift in that. And then you can find a way to unplug. And it doesn't mean it happens that quickly always, but it will eventually unplug. Okay. And you'll know if you're still plugged in by how fired up you get by talking about it. Right? I have people that are like, I haven't thought about my ex-husband in years. I'm over that. I haven't thought about it. And I say, oh, that's fantastic. I said, so can you just tell me how that relation ended? Well, then they're fired up, right? Well, you want to know what he did? No, now we have a story. That's still plugged in. Thought about it. It doesn't matter if you thought about it. That vibration's running like a mother back here. And it's going to pull in everything that matches that vibration. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be on that topic. It just has to be a feeling that matches that. That sucks. So we want to, you want to start being on your own team in the sense of being able to say your truth, but also honor you and honor that, yes, you're having a reaction, or why do I keep picking people like this, or how come I, whatever it is, and looking at, if you really, really understand that we're the magnet for what's being pulled in. And it doesn't mean, oh, now I'm mad at myself. It means there's some work there to change that so that you can have a much happier existence instead of feeling like everything's knocking you over. Right? But if we have an attachment to being sensitive, and that gave us attention way back when, we're going to be attached to that habit. Right? If my identity is I'm very sensitive, so that's part of my identity, then you're not going to be that keen on letting go of that. So you can keep your sensitivity to whatever level you want as long as you own it.
Okay.
Instead of feel like it's an affliction, right?
Right.
Because you can shift that. You can push that in. You can stand in, and really, we should all be standing in our own space anyways.
Right.
Unless somebody walks up and asks me to do something or give them a piece of advice, none of my business. Does that mean we can always do that? No. Right? So depending on who it is, they might tell me to shut up. No problem. So that's where the awareness is. It's about noticing when you're triggered because you're triggered, not because they triggered you. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we address it?
Yes. And I think I tend to fall into the victim role quite easily.
Society's trained us to be, and not that we're going to blame it on them because then we're being a victim again, but it's like saying if there's either love or fear or power or victim, it's very easy to know if I'm in my power. If I'm not in my power, I'm being a victim. So that's it.
Okay.
I know when I'm in a state because when my husband drinks coffee beside me and I want to ram my coffee mug into his forehead, that means something's going on with me. It's not that he's slurping louder than he did yesterday. He slurps the same every time. Right? But some days it just about sends me into orbit, and other day I don't even remember. I would say he doesn't slurp at all. But that is an indicator that I'm off, not that he's annoying. I'm annoyed. Make no mistake. But that's where the responsibility is holy crap, I gotta go and write, or I gotta take a deep breath and know that I'm off, not him. Otherwise I'll pick a fight about something else now. Right? So it is about that responsibility and knowing being a victim never ever serves us. It doesn't mean we don't do it. It just means even when the sooner we can take responsibility for it, it will feel better. Because now I'm taking ownership. Now I have power. Once you take responsibility, you have power back.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we feel better. If I own I'm cranky today, I have power in that now. If I'm walking around trying not to be cranky, I'm miserable and a victim all day. And everybody that comes in my path will trigger my crankiness. When I own it, then I can show up and say, I'm cranky today. Act accordingly, whatever. I can own it. But now I can sit in it. I feel better, even if I'm still cranky. So we want to give your power back by owning that you're sensitive. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to create better space? Are you going to stop being interested in other people's energy? Are you going to, you get to decide what you want to do with that. 10-4?
10-4.
Woo-hoo. Okay, awesome possum. I'm going to mute you. Thank you, Susan. Well, you guys, that flew by like crazy, didn't it? But I just want to check on this angel. Can you ask? Use me if you want. Listen to your body and follow what is asked for you, but you still go backwards. Oh, I don't know what she's saying there, but I hope I covered it, Angel, when I was talking about that earlier. I want to thank you guys. I don't want to keep you any longer because I appreciate your time. I honor your time. I'm super thankful for you guys being here. I did set August's date. I know, right? What's happening to me? We don't know. And I believe it's the August 16th, but we will post a thing. In fact, right here, I can check it right this. No, I can't. It is the 16th. I know it's the 16th. And that is a Thursday, just so you know. So we're back on Thursday. So if you want to be there, the registration will be set up in a few days here, and we'll fire it out. But just in case you want to mark that in your calendar. And I hope you guys are all having a great summer. And if you haven't signed up for any, there's some freebies there's a new website coming. I know I keep saying that, but it's just not up yet because websites apparently take time. Who knew? But you can go on my regular website right now. If you're not on the email, please sign up for that so that you know what's going on and you've got sort of a pulse on, you get all of the YouTube stuff and all the other information that's out there. Okay. And if you need me for anything like a reading or coaching, you can also find it through there. Okay. Have yourself a great night. Love you guys. And I will see you next month. And I'll figure out how to stop this recording. Okay. Take care. Mwah. Yep, I'm going to figure it out. Just hang on.